Fior di Latte, you can order the torte gelato any day. This cake is sophisticated, but it's also fun.
In the middle of Pearl Street Mall in Boulder, Colorado, is a bustling little gelato shop. It's called Fior di Latte.
Bryce and Julia Licht are the husband and wife team behind Fior di Latte.
Julia's from Venice, Italy, and they had their first date at a gelato shop in Venice. When they moved back to Bryce's hometown, she couldn't find any really good gelato, but this sparked a great idea.
After learning with the best in Italy, they just started working with their flavors until they finally opened their own shop in 2014.
Gelato is a much healthier product than ice cream. It's made fresh every day. It's much lower in fat and calories, and it's much more beautiful.
They kind of started making flavors that were unusual, and also these whole creations, these dishes that revolve around gelato. Yeah, it's not just scoops and cones here.
In America, we like to celebrate our birthdays with ice cream cake, but you don't have to wait for that special day once a year. At Fior di Latte, you can order the torte gelato any day.
They start with a thin but sturdy graham cracker crust, and this is going to be the base for the cake.
And a metal ring is placed on to help create even layers. Rich, decadent chocolate semi-freddo mousse is piped on and smoothed out.
This will help keep the layers separate, and it'll be the exterior of the cake.
Now it's time for the gelato, and you can pick 2 flavors for your cake.
So a great way to up the Italian factor is by getting tiramisu gelato. Tiramisu, of course, is a cake that has soaked ladyfingers and espresso and cream and chocolate, and it's oh so good. But they've made it into a gelato, which makes perfect sense.
They start by blending mascarpone and espresso gelato together.
Creamy mascarpone, acidic espresso, perfect combination.
And no tiramisu would be complete without espresso-soaked ladyfingers.
Just like tiramisu, it's dusted with cocoa powder.
So they've deconstructed tiramisu, then put it all back together, and then folded together to make gelato. So they've put cake in gelato and then are putting that in cake. I need a chart. I need a visual aid.
The gelato is frozen into a disc and set in the cake.
So more semi-freddo dark chocolate mousse is piped in the center and around the edges.
The next layer is my favorite layer, the rum-soaked sponge cake.
That rum-soaked sponge cake is so tender and slightly boozy. That's the perfect little intermission between your gelati.
Then another layer of the semi-freddo dark chocolate mousse.
And then for something bright and fruity, strawberry is a really great choice to add as the second gelato flavor. They set that gelato into the mold, and then they top it off with more of that dark chocolate semi-freddo mousse.
The top of the cake is smooth, and it's off to the freezer to set. Once it's really cold, they take a small torch to that cake ring, loosen it, and remove it.
Then the cake is dusted with just a touch of cocoa powder, and then it's time to dig in.
So this cake is sophisticated, but it's also fun. The gelato is layered so artfully, and the colors are so gorgeous. You have this light, fluffy frozen mousse. You have the dense gelati, that super tender sponge cake, and then the crunchy graham cracker base. The torte gelato was a textural celebration of Italy.
At Fior di Latte, you can get an affogato, which is gelato that's just been drowned in espresso.
It's just, ooh, it's nice.
Craving crazy sweets? Go to cookingchanneltv.com/unique sweets.
Boulder is a town that has a really burgeoning food scene, and there's really good sweets included in that. And some of that sweetness and some of that food is hailing from other countries altogether.
Fior di Latte is a small shop serving authentic Italian gelati.
You can get it in a cup, in a cone, as a sundae. It is one of the most heavenly delights on earth.
Yeah.
No day in Italy is complete without some espresso. It's the lifeblood of the country. At Fior di Latte, you can get an affogato, which is gelato that's just been drowned in espresso. One of their specialties is their horchata affogato.
Horchata is a concoction popular in Spain and Latin America made with milk and rice. And it just makes perfect sense to make a gelato out of it.
Fragrant basmati rice is cooked in milk, and this is going to be the base of the gelato. This gives the milk a wonderful rice-like flavor, but it also gives it thickness because it pulls the starch out of the rice.
The milk is strained and then cream is added. And then it's time to flavor and thicken the mix, and they're using ground cinnamon, cane sugar, and non-fat milk powder.
Everything is whisked together and then it's off to the freezer. The gelato is scooped into a small cup. And drowned with piping hot espresso.
It's coffee and dessert rolled into one.
When I had my first bite, my anticipation was the affogato of my childhood. But instead, I got something that was a little spiked with cinnamon, and the texture of the rice milk in there just makes it just a little more unctuous. It's just, oof, it's nice. The espresso was fabulous. You could drink it on its own, but it's even better over gelato.
I feel like Colorado, and specifically Boulder, is really lucky that they get this really authentic Italian gelato right in their town. I love being able to walk in and have an authentic-looking Italian shop. The mood is right, and then the flavors are all really, really high quality. And it's funny, too, because you walk out, and then the rest of Pearl Street, you're just like, in America. But once you cross through their threshold, you're very much in Italy.